Hello, everybody. My name is V the Victim, and this is the review for Gielinor Games Season 4, Episode 4. This was a crazy episode. A lot went on today, and I'm stoked to talk about it. Gonna be another quick, loose thoughts, not well edited, just because I don't have a lot of time. But let me get straight into it. The challenge, Gilligesser, always a favorite. This time, Hootie was picking the teams, and I was like, dude, if Hootie picked me and settled, I knew we were gonna win, just guaranteed. And I told him that, and then he picked settled in solo mission. I can't be too mad, but come on, ah, he did me dirty. So not really holding it against him, to be honest. Like, that's a fair pick. I probably would have picked solo and settled, framed and settled. Uh, those are probably the two absolute best combos I would think to pick, because framed actually really good at Gilligesser too. I ended up with Foe and West Ham, and I didn't feel too bad about this. I had no idea how West Ham would do. Foe, a solid player in pretty much everything. You can always count on him to be at least decent at something. And I usually do really well at Gilligesser, so I was hoping maybe I could carry the team. But this time around, we did have a couple of new things that Soup threw at us. Points weren't team based, they were individual based, so it mattered when every single person in the team got there, which meant that your team is really only as good as your worst player. And I don't want to flame too hard, but it turned out West Ham was not super good at Gilligesser, and he's a PKer. He's one of the best PKers in the game, probably. And he doesn't, do a lot of wandering around RuneScape looking for random locations that Soup could be in. So that is totally fair. And, I didn't do that great myself. So we saw Team Tribunal, which was that solo, settled, and Hootie team, take the win, and solo and settled both performed incredibly well, as you would expect. And yeah, I mean, my team didn't get the win, and I didn't expect to. And again, I don't really want to be in the tribunal if I feel like I'm safe. And this week, I did feel pretty safe still, because I've gone and agreed with a lot of some of the most experienced and best players at GG that it doesn't make much sense to put each other in this early in the game. And so, I feel pretty safe. And I think that a lot of them probably feel pretty safe too, even if they're not in the tribunal. So we get to the point where that tribunal is supposed to pick, and this was crazy. So I don't think anyone outside of the tribunal, actually, I don't think anyone outside of Solo and Settled and Eevescape knew what was happening here. So the tribunal agrees to put Roydy in, a strong farmer who's unproven in GG and could be someone who could get eliminated here as somebody who could make a deep run. So it'd be really great to get him out, stick him in the tribunal. They all agree. Hootie, oh man, so this was so crazy. Hootie gives that little speech that you heard in the video about, like, the farmers are so strong, we have to take them out. So my vote is going to be for Roydy. And so he sends the Roydy vote. After that speech, everyone knows that he's targeting farmers. And then the other two votes come in. Solo, Eevescape, settled, Eevescape. And dude, this was so crazy because it was really obvious something happened. Hootie was at a loss. He had no idea what was going on. And the fact that the tribunal didn't agree after that speech about how they all agreed the farmers were a threat, like, I didn't know exactly what went down in there, but I knew something insane had just happened. And now, having seen the episode, Settled made this crazy move to put Eevescape in the banning. And Solo Mission absolutely screwed him over as an ally. And I mean, it's funny because this time around, Solo was not trying to snake him, which is obviously what he's known for. It just happened because he took the risk. But here's the thing about taking risks. If someone else is on the line for your risk and you're safe, then it's not really a risk. You're just screwing somebody over. And that is exactly what Solo did to Eevee. So we see Eevescape go in the banning after some really weird, mildly confusing tribunal stuff that I was just dying to get some more info on. And he just picks framed instantly. Like, I am trying to win this season. So I will make a pick that I think I can beat. Eevescape, I gotta respect the pick. He just sends Framed. And Framed, despite having been a massive GG veteran, he was a finalist last year, has never been in a banning. Not saying he's never lost one, not saying he's never won one. Both are true because he has never been in one. He got to the finals last season without being in a banning, which is insane. And so seeing him in a banning, instantly one ticked on the pick by Eevescape, it was crazy. And Soup announces that the banning is going to be item collection from scratch, which is a banning that Eevescape participated in and won last season. So Kevin being a friend of mine, I want to see him do well. I'd love to see him get a chance to win, to be in the finals again. And I was terrified. Honestly, I thought going into this that Eevescape was definitely favored. Not because Framed is bad, but I mean, Jake has been in like 15 eliminations. He has won the majority of them. He's done this exact elimination before. And yeah, the only twist here was that Artie was the location. So they didn't start in Lumbridge, they started in Artie. And I think that was definitely enough to change it up. You know, obviously, had it been the same location as last year, Eevescape could have run back exactly what he did and then probably improved on it a little bit and done really well. But with very little time to prepare, I don't think that it was that big of an advantage having the experience. And, you know, we saw in the challenge, Kevin made it to the Gnome Stronghold. You got to get that food shop, the cheap fruit, the cheap tools, cocktail glasses, all that stuff. He snags a last second victory and he's coming back, which is huge. And I think that Eevescape, he's never that serious of a contender to win, but when someone is a solid player who has a lot of experience on GG, they're always a threat. And so obviously he plays up the, oh, I know I'm the best player in Australia and all this other stuff. But he is really good and he genuinely is a threat because of his experience and because he is a pretty good RuneScape player overall. And yeah, I mean, this was crazy because I expected for the next few weeks only new, inexperienced, weaker players to be going home. And Eevescape, boom, week 4, big name already gone. And also, this scares me a little bit because my strategy is don't be in the tribunal, but also don't have a crosshair on me, you know, just kind of be low profile, make it through until people think that maybe it's time to put stronger players in. But we saw a big move happen. We saw a stronger veteran go in. And yeah, a little spooky for my position in the game. So not particularly happy with this one. And then also, we saw Kevin pick the money, which I could have sworn he didn't need. I think that people are going to shy away from the sabotage because we found out that it can be pretty weak and it doesn't help you personally. It only hurts one person. And also, people just don't want to make more enemies than they have to. I think that's really big here. And I think we're seeing that happen. So Kevin picks some money, not a huge surprise. And all in all, just a crazy week. I was mind blown by the fact that Eevescape got put in. Loved Gilligesser. It was harder than usual with the item requirements and everything. And unfortunately, did not get the stack team I was trying to get Hootie to put me on. So yeah, overall, a good week. Any week that you survive is a good week. And that's the case this time. And yeah, I don't know. Next week, my main thought going into next week was I could be on the chopping block now. So I need to be careful. I need to be getting in DMs. I need to maybe perform in the challenge. Like, you know, things are getting scarier. And I still think there are people that I can pick to beat pretty comfortably in most bannings. But you really don't want to be in the banning because in GG, you can get something that's RNG. You could get something that's not your style. And all of a sudden you're out. So a lot of pressure going into next week. But also, things are heating up. It's getting real interesting. So it's also exciting. Oh, also, I put the clip in the background of me doing my last kill for getting Blorva. I'm pretty proud of this one. I came back to the game like 2 weeks ago, and I'm, by my standards, pretty terrible. But I managed to kill all the awakened bosses from DT2 and get my Blood Torva. So pretty proud of that one. I figured it's about the same length as the video, so I'd just slap it in the background as a little flex. Yeah, so I'm moving on. I'm trying to do combat achievements. And I think I'm going to try to make some content that isn't just the GG reviews. I'd probably rather stream than YouTube because it's less effort. but it's just tough to get a block of time to do it. But I'd say next couple weeks, keep an eye out. I am going to be involved in some stuff. I'm going to be making some content. So yeah, thanks for watching this. And if you're interested, drop a subscribe here, drop a follow on my Twitch, and you may just see something else coming out soon. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and really looking forward to catching that GG episode tomorrow.